Hi Pisces, welcome to the Astrology 33 channel, and this is your October 2020 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as personal readings, I'm still taking a break from those. I'm not sure when I'm going to pick them back up, but if I do start them up again soon, I'll make an update in the community section of the channel. As far as what we have in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread as always, and then I also pulled a couple of Oracle cards and a Mudra card for you. So we'll get started with the main spread. Main situation position, we have the star in reverse. So this could just be saying that you might be lacking a bit of faith around the situation right now. I'll put in the upright while we talk about it. But, the star card, it's Aquarius energy for one, which for you guys is your 12th house. So this can be something where you're just really stuck in your head around the situation, maybe feeling like it didn't pan out quite the way you hoped. Maybe starting to question if you're on the right path or not. I always point out to people that the star card comes after the tower card in the major arcana. So some of you might have went through a tower situation recently and you're still trying to find your footing. But this is still a good card to see come up, even if it is in reverse, because it says to me that you're pretty close to where you need to be. You might have to make a couple of adjustments here and there, but overall, you're heading in the right direction. So, it might just take a little bit of time to disconnect for a little bit, just really reevaluate, maybe recharge your energy a little bit, and then you should see by then, okay, I am on the right path. So you could have just experienced a bit of a setback recently. There's all kinds of crazy energies going on astrologically that could point to that. You guys did have that full moon in your sign recently, so it could have been related to that. The new moon in Virgo was actually pretty powerful, so could have been some positive momentum there. But yeah, if not, I'm just seeing this as, like I said, I feel like you're losing a bit of faith around the situation. Can be related to finances for some of you. And the reason I say that is because in the challenger obstacle position, we have the Two of Pentacles. So this could point to possibly some financial difficulty. It's a Capricorn energy. And also, for some of you, this might be one of those things where you might have two streams of income right now. So just a generic example of what could have happened. Maybe you have your regular day job, right? But you also started a side hustle to try to get more money. And maybe where you start to lose hope there is you feel like, okay, well, now it's taking up too much of your time, right? You're like, okay, I work 40 hours a week at my regular job. Let's say an extra, 20 hours a week at your side gig, and you might not be seeing the financial reward for that extra work, right? So you could just be having a little bit of doubt there. If that's the case, I would say try not to give up on that side gig yet. I feel like it will expand for you guys in a while. Keep in mind, you guys have Mars retrograde right now in Aries, which is your second house of finances. So you can feel like things are slowed down in that area for you guys for a bit, but it's not a long-term thing. So that could be what's causing some of that doubt for you. In the foundation position, we have the Four of Wands. So this is Aries energy here, actually, which, like we said, that's your second house of finances. So that could have been part of what it was for some of you, too. Maybe you, for a while, were seeing some success with that secondary side gig, and maybe because of that, you started to increase your spending a lot. For example, maybe you got a bigger house or something along those lines, right? And now you're like, okay, the money's starting to slow up, right? Or maybe you're just burning out. Where in the beginning you were able to do it fine, like, okay, but now you just, could just be catching up to you in a way. So that could be part of the issue there. If this is a relationship thing, I will say, maybe you guys are going through a bit of a rough patch in a relationship. I don't necessarily see it as an indicator of a long-term issue there either. So, could just be the energies at play. They're a bit volatile. There's plenty going on. I mean, you've probably heard plenty about the astrological transits going on right now, so that could be part of it. Looks like this is just more of a temporary thing if that's what you're experiencing as far as like issues within a relationship. In the past position, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is Sagittarius energy here. And for you guys, Sagittarius is your house of career. So to me, this is another indicator of what I was feeling already, which is to say, you guys might have been having a lot of movement around your career. Maybe you were, like I said, you might have had one job, picked up, a second job where you're probably working for yourself, some type of entrepreneurial thing, and it might have been taken off for you guys fairly quickly, right? So I feel like you guys are just in that expansive growth mood mode or ever recently. So that's what that could be pointing to. And that might have even started to really take off for you guys around the time when we had that Sagittarius full moon back there in Gemini season. This can be someone that you were dealing with too, and maybe that's where you could be losing a little bit of faith in the connection, right? Where this could be saying that initially you saw the potential for it to be a situation like this, but then maybe you figured, okay, well, I'm not sure this person's really committal, right? Maybe they were in and out of the picture a lot, so you start to have your doubts in that regard. But again, I'm really feeling like there's a temporaryism to whatever this self-doubt that you might be feeling is right now. In the present position, a lot of cards came up. We have the Nine of Cups, which is actually Pisces energy, middle 10 degrees. So if that's your placement, this might resonate for you a bit more. We have the Nine of Pentacles, which is actually Virgo energy, middle 10 degrees of Virgo. We have the Ten of Wands, which is Sagittarius energy again. And then we have the Seven of Swords, which is Aquarius energy. So I'm feeling like, again, I'm picking up on this primarily as being related to finances. You know, you might have gotten to a place you were comfortable with, right? For a while, you're like, okay, I'm content with where I'm at, with my career, with my finances, right? And you really might have started to push yourselves. So I was saying there too, where I feel like maybe there's a bit of a feel of burnout. And seeing this Ten of Wands energy here also makes me feel like you might have really been pushing it a little bit too much. And with that Seven of Swords, this could point to a couple of things. For one, like let's say that if this is just around a primary day job you have, this could just be saying that they might be taking advantage of the amount of work you're doing in your one job. So for example, it might not even be two sources of income for you guys. It could just be that you're just putting so much time and energy into one job, and they could just be taking advantage of your time and energy in that regard, you know. That's what this Seven of Swords energy could point to. Now, with this representing 12th house energy for you guys too, though, it could also be saying that you're, in a way, doing this to yourselves as far as, you know, you're really burning the candle at both ends, and, you know, you're pushing yourselves to burn out because you're so dead set on some goal of yours, like, okay, this is where I want to get, right? I want to be at this place, whatever the case may be. So you really push yourselves, and as a result, you know, could possibly risk burning yourselves out. So that could be why the star is showing up in reverse too. So just something to be mindful of there if you guys are really pushing yourselves a little bit too hard and you're starting to feel that energy in the present. That could be the reason why. All right, in the near future position, we have the Seven of Wands, which is Leo energy, the Emperor, which is Aries energy, and the Ten of Swords, which is Gemini energy. So, interesting mixture of energies here. With this being Leo energy, for you guys, that is your 6th house of work. So this could definitely be around finances for you guys, like I was feeling. And then with the Emperor energy there, this could represent your boss at your workplace, for example. And with that Ten of Swords, this could just be saying, you know, if there's been a lot of worry and anxiety, things you've been holding back, like I said, if you feel like they've really been giving you too much work and it's burning you out, right? So your workload is increased, but yet your pay hasn't, right? So, I mean, some of these businesses are going through financial difficulty too, right? So maybe they figure, oh, okay, well, we have Pisces on board. We'll just, you know, maybe we can't hire new people like we originally planned on, but, you know, so they might have more business than they had before. But due to the financial uncertainty, a lot of people are feeling they might have been hesitant to bring more employees on board. So now your workload has increased like crazy while your pay hasn't, right? So there may have to be a conversation with them there to say, look, what's the deal? Like, you guys are giving me way too much work. I'm not seeing any more financial benefit from it. Something has to give, right? So for a lot of you, I do have to say with the Ten of Swords, it can go either way, which is to say for some of you that could say, all right, that, you know, maybe this is a perspective that they hadn't even really considered, and you guys just standing up for yourselves will actually lead to them doing something, whether they, you know, understand and give you a little bit less work or try to give you more financial compensation. That's one way it could play out. Now, for a very small group of you, I would say that it could lead to you deciding to leave the job as well. I had to at least mention that possibility. The reason I say that's a little bit more unlikely is due to the fact that the Seven of Wands energy here usually represents successfully defending yourself, successfully standing up for yourself. So, for most of you, I feel like it's going to work out in your favor in some way, whether they decide, okay, well, yeah, we'll give you less work, sorry about that, or like I said, they'll try to give you more compensation, possibly bring on someone else. So, looks like it would be a good time to speak up for yourselves in that regard, no matter how it would pan out there. The position of your influence on the situation, we have the moon. So I could just see this as saying that you might not have been seeing that situation clearly. Like I said, for some of you, you might have just been so intently focused on this goal of yours, right? Like, okay, this is what I want. I'll stop at nothing to get it, right? And you push yourselves with that 10 of Wands energy, and then really start to burn yourselves out. And possibly this could even be saying where you start to try to take shortcuts because you just have so much work on your plate that you're like, all right, you know what? Let me take this shortcut, that shortcut, which could end up backfiring on you. So be mindful of that as well. Because if that's what it is, where you guys decide to take a shortcut, and then your boss confronts you about it, like, hey, you told us you'd be able to get all 7 of these things done. You only got 5 of them done, something along those lines, right? So might be better to address it with them beforehand than tell them something, oh yeah, I could totally get those done, and then possibly not get them done. It'd be better off to tell them in the front end to be like, hey, I don't know if I could get that done. So at least they're aware. Just wanted to put that out there since the moon is here. But yeah, this represents you guys might not be seeing the situation too clearly. There's nothing really going on right now in your 12th house necessarily. Well, for some of you, you might have part of Capricorn in your 12th house, definitely. And if that's the case, yeah, there's definitely heavy energy in there. But as far as Aquarius energy, nothing really going on there. But keep a lookout for the moon cycles too, because with this coming up here, it could just be saying that there could be impactful events that happen around those times. And also, energetically, the way I often explain the moon to people is whenever I see this card come up in the upright, it's an indicator for me that you have to feel your way through a situation. So the example I like to give, however weird it may sound, is like, let's say you're in a room, right, and it's dark, and you're not too familiar with the room. So maybe if it's a room you're very familiar with, okay, I have that nightstand 2 feet away, and you could navigate your way around the room without the light on, right? But a room you're not familiar with, you wouldn't feel too comfortable with it, so you have to feel your way around, right? So you don't bump into things, knock things over. It's not that anyone moved anything around in the room while you were sleeping. It's just that, okay, I'm not too familiar with the environment. I need to feel my way through it. So that's kind of what the moon card represents to me, where it's not necessarily deceptive energy at play. You just might have to feel your way around because you might not be in familiar territory. So something to think about there. And then the environment position, we have the Empress. So this usually points to Taurus or Libra energy, usually Taurus for me. And this could just be pointing to what I was saying, where you guys might need to communicate to someone, if your workload's a little bit too heavy, whether hey, could you guys reduce the workload, or hey, I'm going to need more compensation for this. With this card showing up in the environment, this could say that would actually turn out well for you. So definitely something to keep in mind there. For others of you, this could be someone else in your environment, and possibly that's the issue too, right? If there's someone that you're supposed to be working with, let's say it's a business partnership, and you feel like you're the one doing all the work, and there's someone else who's not doing any of the work, right? With the Empress energy here, that might need to be a conversation you need to have with them as well to say, look, I'm doing too much here. You need to pick up some of the slack and help me out. So something to keep in mind with that too. I do want to point out before I forget that we also have the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck for you guys and the upright. So that's a pretty positive sign there as well. We did have Jupiter turn direct recently, so that's also a pretty good indicator that things could turn out in your favor too. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the 10 of Cups. I'm going to assume this is a hope for most of you. This is also Pisces energy, by the way, and it's the last 10 degrees of Pisces. But interesting to see this in the hopes position, because we see here it looks like you're already at that 9 of Cups. So it could just be, again, an indicator of what I was feeling there, where, like I was saying, you guys just might be pushing yourself so hard that you're not seeing that you're burning yourselves out, or that, hey, someone else should be chipping in to help you, or hey, you need more compensation for the amount of work you're putting in. So keep that in mind. But it does look like you are close to that goal, though, so I will give you that. All right. And then in the outcome position, we have the Magician, the King of Swords, Aquarius energy again, and the Eight of Swords, Gemini energy again. So a lot of Swords energy here, and some tough Sword energy too. Because again, Aquarius energy, that represents your 12th house, and while you guys are the natural rulers of the 12th house energy could be a bit difficult to navigate sometimes. So to me, this is saying that, hey, what you're trying to manifest, you can. You just have to try to get out of your head, right? And it could just be saying that because you're in your head so much right now, that's really preventing you from moving forward in the way that you want to. So keep that in mind. I think this is just an indicator and a reminder for you guys, especially since we see the Star card in reverse in the main situation, to say, hey, you have the power to change the situation, especially with the Wheel of Fortune there as well. Could just be saying that you might just be overthinking things, or even if not necessarily overthinking things, just maybe seeing things from the more perspective side of the spectrum, so could just be saying you're further ahead than you think you are. Try not to push yourself too hard to the point of burnout, and maybe ask for some help if you need to. All right, moving on to the Oracle cards. First we have Peace. There's the artwork, and the number is 23. Okay, it says freedom from attachment, radical acceptance. The Oracle's message. It doesn't get any better than this. A quiet mind, a heart fulfilled, freedom from want, and the soul's satisfaction. The way to peace is through radical acceptance. Everything in your world is exactly as it should be. Harmony is beautiful. Enjoy it. So definitely a pretty positive message there too. Quiet mind, a heart fulfilled. That was what I was feeling there, where I was saying, you guys just might feel like you're losing hope in the situation. And like I was saying, especially with the cards we see at the bottom of the deck and the outcome, it looks like you guys will be able to turn that around. So try not to lose faith in that regard. The relationship message says when two people are in true alignment with one another, they have an innate harmony between them. They are as two perfectly tuned instruments playing together. Sometimes it's impossible to tell who is who. Peace is yours, and it is to be savored. So I do have to say I wasn't getting like a huge relationship vibe from this, but for those of you who are looking for that, hopefully that resonated with you. And worst case, I'll be doing the love readings probably next week, so you can check out those as well. The prosperity message says this is one of those times when you're capable of clear vision about your work and how you create your prosperity. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You're called by a presence to step into your power. Just being is enough, for you are in peaceful harmony with spirit, and it shows in your work. So that's a pretty positive message there too, as far as the part where it says just being is enough, as far as like I was saying, if you are pushing yourselves a little bit too hard and you feel like you're approaching a situation where you might burn yourselves out, just try to keep that message in mind too. All right, and moving on to the next Oracle card, we have Spider Spirit. It says make your dreams real. There's the artwork, and the number is 56. Immediately that makes me think of both, like I said, the Star card, although it is in reverse for you guys, and definitely the Magician energy. So maybe we'll get some messages that resonate with that. Okay, it says weaving your dreams into the fabric of life begins with a single thread of intention, and then spirit joins you as your co-weaving partner. Take but a single step to make your dream a reality, and spirit will take 10 toward you, for the universe is designed to support your dream weaving. Spider Spirit arrives when you need reminding of the awesome power of co-creation with spirit. Ideas and resources will begin to appear as if by magic as you begin to bring your dreams from the realm of intention into the world of the senses where they take form. The action you need to take is to be clear about your intentions and then act as if you have become the one that lives the life you desire. The web of creation has an uncanny way of coming together to weave the beautiful pattern you set in motion. Another message of Spider Spirit is about any creative project you may be considering: writing, painting, music, journaling, gardening, etc. Now is the time when inspiration wants to be channeled through you as something creative, even artistic and tangible. Creative projects are successful now if you are so inclined. Let yourself be open to abundance. So an interesting message there, because the part talking about the creativity and everything, that made me think of possibly the moon card there in that regard, where you might have some creative insights come to you guys, and then obviously the magician as well. So hopefully that resonated with you. And lastly, we have a mudra. So the mudra that you guys got for this month is the Kapittha mudra. There it is there. And the keyword for it is creativity. So again, it definitely seems to align with that message we just read, which is cool. There's the info on it if you guys want to either pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But under benefits, it says can be used as a tool for sexual healing, releasing guilt and shame around sexuality, increases sensitivity, receptivity, stimulates healthy libido, opens the connection between the pelvis and heart, expands feelings of devotion and loving kindness. So if that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of the mudra in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.